Hey everybody, morning. And we've got channel members David, Hugh, Sergio, Don, Donald, Don, Jerry, Rob, Scott, Craig, Donald, Arturo, Terry, Diane, Swinburne, Gayton, B, Aki, Will, David, Matt, Jason, Logan, Marianne, Frank, Gary, Ted, Dan, Mary, and welcome everybody. All my channel subscribers also welcome, like Ed, Erdy, Larry, General Rush, good to see you, sir. S. Kohler, John, Kathy, Gilbert, Alejandro. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, Alejandro, we can all see your name. You don't have to tell us. Hey, wrong word. So, $82.4 trillion. Anybody have a guess where $82.4 trillion is? Maybe read the channel, maybe read the video description. $82.4 trillion locked up in this one part of the market. Well, I don't know about locked up, but accumulated in this one part of the market. Anybody have an idea? Anybody? Bueller? Dun, 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 dun. I'll give you just a second while I pull it up here. Pop it out, pop it over. And dun, dun, dun. Not in your checking account, yeah. Well, I mean, $82.4 trillion. It's not even in the Federal Reserve's checking account. Not in the Mag 7 either. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? Dun, 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 dun. It's in the net worth of baby boomer generation. Right here. $82.4 trillion of wealth. Look at that growth from 2020. Perking off just a little bit. Gen Xers, 41.7. That's where I call home. Millennials down here at 16.5 trillion. Total $160 trillion right there. So that's net worth. Includes households, even if they may be overpriced. Hey, Kimberly, good to see you. My favorite subscriber. Be home maybe tomorrow. Alrighty. There you go. That's where, think about that. These are people fixing to retire. Like, what do we get? Like, some crazy amount every day. Is it 10,000 or 50,000? I get my numbers so mixed up. I used to harp on it before it really started picking up pace. But we've got a ton of them retiring. I think it's 50,000 a day, or maybe it's 10,000 a day, 50,000 a week on average. And that's going to continue for like the next 15 years. That's going to put stress on healthcare services. So as they age, as they need, medical care, that, they've lived a good, rough life, more stuff, more medical care, more nursing homes, more in-home care, a lot of that medical stuff. And our medical system in the United States, a little bit messed up right now. So this will eventually hit its peak, like we saw back here with the silent generation. And that's bleeding off a little bit, but obviously not bleeding off a lot. It's kind of interesting. Silent generation holding in there. Baby boomers still aggressively accumulating wealth. Where's the peak? Millennials still have Gen Xers and millennials still have a ways to go before they reach their peak. So, we saw it back here 30 years ago, baby boomers. Then step forward 10, 20 years. That's about where Gen X was. Step forward 10, 20 years. Should be, it looks like millennials are actually running ahead of schedule here. Probably running a little bit ahead. So X3 Ross. I mean, but it's all got to be passed on, right? Like, eventually, it's all got to be moved down from here and maybe here. But does the government take a big chunk of that inheritance through taxes? So we'll see. Even tax-free Raws can fall through. So we've got $82.4 trillion sitting there. Should be interesting to see how that trickles through over the coming years. Right there. Anyway, earnings this week. I thought it was interesting, and obviously none of you all had any clue because the guesses weren't even on point at all. So today after the close, we got Visa and Mara, Starbucks, Seagate, Booking.com, Cheesecake Factory, and should be interesting. We've got Meta, Microsoft, Robinhood coming up after the close on Wednesday. We've got the FOMC coming up tomorrow midday. 90, according to Grok in my truck this morning, there's like a 98% chance that they're just going to hold rates steady and Trump's going to lose his mind. So we'll see. I got the Grok beta installed in the truck yesterday. So far, not super impressed. It has no memory between sessions. It's kind of like a goldfish. If it loses connectivity for a minute, it loses the whole conversation. So that's not awesome. And it was just kind of in the middle of saying something, and then it just started over yesterday. And I was like, well, that's cool. And it was like, hey, what can I help you with? I was like, well, do you have any memory of what we were just talking about? It's like, sure, but remind me. I'm like, so you have no memory? Sure, I do, but remind me. I was like, okay. You have no memory session to session, do you? And no, I'm more like a goldfish. It's like a new browser tab every time. I was like, cool. That's not helpful. So anyway, not impressed with that so far. And I've only had it for like half a day. Yeah, beta. I mean, but still, it's like, that's my first impression. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I'm sure it'll get better, but at this moment, yeah. Apple, Amazon, Strategy, Coinbase, Reddit, Riot. I mean, AI is like the worst it's ever going to be across the board. I use an AI agent to help me with the monologues in the mornings, so didn't help today because I didn't really have a monologue. I just shared the chart there. So let's take a look at some of these, shall we? We hit Mag 7s every day, and there's not really going to be any changes. But some of these other ones, like Visa, potential to pop, United Healthcare, I think, saw a tweet from Jim Cramer that was up. Let's see what we got. Nope, it's down. I don't know why he was tweeting it was up. There we go. Cruising on down. Let's hit that zone right there. Visa has a nested roadmap pattern. Looking for that upside. Let's see what else we got. Let's see, SoFi was out this morning. Oh, nice pop. Maybe cruising on up to 28 there. Obviously didn't do the double pullback thing. Starbucks. Some of you been riding this with me. This is a bullish pattern, even though they're expected to have bad. I mean, do we get the pullback here, or do we just launch off here? We're at this resistance zone. It's been resistance since way back here. We just keep grinding this area right here around 100. As long as we're on the lower side of it, looks like downside potential. If we can push up through it, upside potential. I have I don't remember what it is. It's either a 95 or 100 strike call out to January. If we fall out of bed, that's going to be a sucky position. Maybe I should have sold it up here, but I didn't because I was looking for the target up here. But hey, we got to pull back to a higher low. And let's see what else we got cooking. Spotify. Wow, look at that going for the roadmap line. It's at the breakout point. I mentioned that we may just retrace the breakouts. We'll see what happens. UPS also reporting earnings. Down, down, down. That's a, I mean, hard to argue that's not been a bearish. Down, 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 down. Every time it hits the roadmap line, down. Till we can break through. Merck. Glad I didn't chase that one. I mentioned that I might yesterday in the wrap up. In case anybody left early yesterday before I got to the end, I went through all the stuff I'm kind of using in the 50K challenge. And whether I'm bullish or bearish or what I'm waiting for a new trade. This one yesterday, I kind of outlined that thought I was going to pull back. And there you go. In case you missed the 50K challenge, all time, we're at 22,000. Started this in April, 3.5 months ago. So this year, 22.6. Last 3 months, 21,500. So most of it's come in the last 3 months. The first half month, kind of slow start. As you can see on the profit chart here. There we go. We started April 15th, funding the account. It's been a nice rocket lab. Took us on a rocket ride right up in here. We've just been hanging with my homies. There's the market open. NVO. Down to the lower low. Look at that. In the target zone. Beautiful dreamer. Yeah, look at that. Warning. Potential market top. I think I just put that on there yesterday, didn't I? Watch out. We could lift off, but potential to pull back on FOMC tomorrow is highly elevated. Some sort of protection in the market might be wise. S&P 500 over the target zone. ES overnight, just kind of grinding, not really providing much guidance here. We've got the high from yesterday. We got the low from yesterday. We're at the 618. If we get continuation, this is a first move. That's an absolutely beautiful correction in Elliott wave speak. Target for that downside for now is right down here. Not very far. Somewhere in that zone right there around 63.80, which is just back to the target. Then we'll see, like, do we hold that and turn higher again, or do we break through it, go on down? 30-minute we hit, 1 hour is right there at that level. So we may be due a 1 hour visit again. 4 hour way on down here. Haven't visited that in quite a while. We didn't even hit it there. We just kind of came near it back in June. Didn't hit it there. Golly. So it's been basically since April, the end of April. End of April. Wow. So we're due a 4 hour hit. That doesn't go forever. Look at the S&P. Checking out how long we keep setting records for closes above this 20-day simple moving average. 20-day. Go back to the daily chart. Look at this. We've been rolling on this thing for 60. Today will be the 65th day. 65 bars. Now we can roll this out to all-time record. That would be out here, right around here. Maybe September. Right in time for Kimberly's birthday. Hanging out right over here. Set the all-time record. It's gonna have to keep chugging along to stay above that 20-day that long. But eventually we're gonna pay the piper with a correction. It's gonna be vicious. It's gonna be vicious. There's no pullbacks in this thing. After that initial one right off the lows there, you just keep rocking and rolling. Now you'd be like, well, another guru that's not an Elliott wave tician was like, yeah, well, that's 5 waves right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, be careful. Maybe. But the proportions here, not like that's not a 3-wave correction. I would be very careful saying that that's a 5-wave up, but just humoring them if it was. First move up, projected off of that potential right there. Leaves us with the potential to go on up to 65.40. That was first move up, and that's the 5th right there. And that could be the final move if we go ahead and do that. Funny enough, that does have confluence with that 1272 in the ballpark vicinity, so we may just do it. I mean, possible. Anything's possible. What's probable? Pullback's probable, but markets can stay irrational. They can do the possible way longer than you can stay solvent. That's why I'm not overly bearish, and I have protections out to September. I do it. We could just ride this on up, but I do expect a pullback between now and September. I mean, we don't usually just ride or die straight up forever. Be careful. The party's going to end at some point. Russell, struggling here. This is looking more toppy, and this is why my hedge on a market correction is hanging out here. This one looks like we've had market closes above the 20. I don't have a tool that shows me the streaks. I just rely on other people's data. That one's only 43 bars. Looks like closes above the 20. QQQ. This one's setting records too. Look at that. All the way back. Wow. All the way back to there. Rock and roll, baby. So basically riding with the S&P just one more day. On day 66 today. Wild. Wild. Oil coming back up for another test on a lower high. Had that one, had that one. Now we're having this one. Watch for the next drop. If we poke through that support, probably going on down. If we break through, watch for that resistance, that resistance, that resistance right there. I don't think we're going up, but anything's possible again. Gold may come back up. We broke through this downtrend, or this uptrend of lows, uptrend of lows. Broke through, may come back up to retest it before we take the next step down. This is looking a lot like a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 4. May get that kind of action on gold for the next little bit. Bitcoin. Step down to the 1 hour. So yesterday I kind of outlined that we may retrace back into this 17,000 area. Didn't quite go that low. We got down to 17.5, but not down into right into the 1700. I mean 117,000. But this looks like first move, second move. Could get that third move right there. I would watch out for a little bit of softness in Bitcoin today. Heading into tomorrow. If that developed into something bigger, we might see lower low. And that target for potential lower low could be back down in the 111 to 112,000 area. Right down here. If we got something bigger on FOMC tomorrow. If the FOMC meeting news kicks off a bigger negative reaction. This also on Ethereum. First move down, retrace. But yesterday was the highest high that we've had on this move. So this may extend again. Possibly up to 4,000. NKD got whacked a little bit. Has not broken back in the box, but I did mention we may go back and retest the box. Looks like so far that's kind of what we're doing, retesting that breakout high. We hold it, turn positive, global liquidity indicating we're going higher. Now we did bust out of the box. We do have this prior high right here from back in July of last year, where we kind of topped out before we did a big whoo. And that was a big 1, 2, 3. Absolutely beautiful correction. Lower low. First move up. Do we get a giant yikes? So after corrections, typically the first move comes up in the vicinity of the prior high. And then we get a pullback to the vicinity of the 4, which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks more like 5 up to me than the S&P. Find a support. So we could come back, retest the box one more time, and then go shooting out. That'd be interesting if that plays out. How do you protect? Buy some puts on Russell. Dollar, look at what we're doing. Exactly what I thought. So we'll see. Do we find resistance here? Do we find resistance here? That's the big question. Here, right there, the lower one, that's bearish, and we'll probably make a lower low than we made right back here. This one, bullish, probably make a higher low somewhere above this area right here, where we are at 99. Come up there, make a low, and then go busting through that roadmap line. Apple dumpling, what's crack-a-lackin'? We're stuck at the roadmap line. Watch out for a pullback in that vicinity. If we get below that, it'll be more sinister and deep. If we start a bigger market correction tomorrow, this could be one that gets whacked harder. I'm going to think about placing I might place a lotto trade out to, like, let's see. What can we pick up? This has got my juices turning here. This obviously hitting some sort of top here. Let's see if there's any kind of opportunity here. Out to like December, maybe. Let's check out. No prices. Beautiful. Love it. Let's see. So down to 150. So wonder what 100. I like to do these debit spreads. It controls your risk on something like this. You could do maybe buy. Oh wow, look at. Oh, that's out to August, December. I was like, whoa, that's cheap. $2 here. 81 cents, like for $1, basically. You could play this right here. Buy this one. Let's see. Strategy builder. Something just happened. I just got fills on something. All right. Let's go a little bearish. Let's go bear put spread. Great strategy. All right, we want to go. Why is it ES? What the heck? Let's go with Apple. Come on. Back to bearish. I've never used this before, so bear with me. Bear with me. Bear put spread. Let's go with December. Let's go with the 170 with 20. Oh, look at that risk reward right there. Beautiful. Holy bananas. That can't be right. What price is that? Okay, so it's strike prices. The width is not dollars, it's strike prices. Strikes. They're available. It's a little bit annoying. So it counts 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how it's doing it. Oh, cool. Reset the strategy. Needs work. Back to December. It's always fun to play with a new tool, though. 170. Could do 180 maybe with 6 size 1. So risk 200 to possibly make 2,000. Not bad. Is it likely to work out? I don't know. Break even, 177, Delta. Vega Row. Where's the risk reward? Win rate 13%. How is that the win rate? It's probably probability of winning, not win rate. So your risk reward right there. That's not a bad risk. 200 to potentially make that. Let's see, 175. That's a better one. 170. That one's juicy. I'm not sure we're going to drop that far. That'd be like an ideal drop right there. 175 might be the sweet spot if you wanted to play this. So what would you do? What is this trade? How do you place it? So you come in here, December, come down. Oh, come on. What are we doing here? So I was looking at buying 175. Now we got prices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sell that one. Right there. That's your spread. Buy that one. Sell that one. We make the money if we drop all the way through. There you go. There you go. So, if you like the trade, let me know in the chat. If you place it, let me know. It might take a little bit to play out. Kind of a hedge trade. And you saw, you spend 200 to potentially make like 3,000. That's not a bad trade out to the end of the year, especially with this kind of bearish looking Apple chart here. I might put that on. Could you go closer to money? Yeah. Higher probability chance of profit, but worse risk to reward. Amazon, potential downside. Google, potential downside. Meta, potential downside. Microsoft, This may, so this one already did this, that ABC thing I've been talking about on all those charts. This one already did it. Potential for this to retest the breakout zone and then go higher. NVIDIA, same situation. Potential to come back, retest the breakout, hold, and go higher. That next upside, potentially up here at like 212. Microsoft's potential next upside up here at 565. Tesla grinding in this triangle crap. Oh, turn it down. So I sold a 350 call against some of the shares I had. And first move down, second move. You know, we're probably looking at least a third move down here. Just typically don't just get one move. Still put us down here in this. If we get this ideal drop and we don't go lower low, then these back here, we might pop down here. This 285 to 295 area. That would be expected. If we get a little frothy on the downside, 275 could be hit right down there. Netflix coming on down. If we get down to the roadmap line by Friday, Ronger's taking me to dinner. Just kidding. All right, cool, Dave. I'll somebody write in the Termite Trading Lab chat to remind me to do it because I'll forget. Like I get right after I get off of here, I usually have 900 things to do and I forget. I kind of want to place it, so I like it. So right now, Netflix hanging out. About 100 points left to go to the roadmap line. GTLS. So I go pull gainers. I use a piece of software that loads up Market Chameleon, pulls off everything moving $2 or more up. We hunt for opportunities. And then I also pulled the decliners, things moving $2 or more down. We hunt for opportunities. Looks like Spotify, the biggest loser here, coming back for the roadmap line, maybe. Kind of like these decliners. Usually they present more opportunity. I am going to set an alert right here. If we hit that, I might hunt for something on Spotify. Lilly, just chopping in here. Probably sympathy on some of those other biotech pharmas. Royal Caribbean, probably going to, like, we see this a lot where it tries to go for that 1618, fails back down, maybe retest the breakouts before we come on and back up again. Verisign went for the breakout and getting whacked on the earnings. NVO, we already mentioned this, getting whacked down. Whirlpool, not doing too hot. It's not an indication of lots of people buying appliances and building more houses and upgrading stuff. It's a sign of stuff struggling here. UNH. And you can pick your strikes. I just threw one up. 6 strike wide, December 19th. UNH probably coming for the targets. Actually, I want to know if it goes low or low. If it goes low or low, it could be done. So I'm going to put me alert right there. NSC. Was just chopping around. So looking back at this chart right here, what makes you think now is the great time to get involved on Norfolk Southern? Nothing. Like, we're potentially topping out again. Like, we've topped out once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. Is this time different? Probably not. Vape was on the list yesterday for our biggest gainer. Now we're one of the biggest decliners. Brown and Brown taking a whack. Probably going to correct deeper. Let's see where support might be. Off of the low, up to the high. Probably down here in this vicinity. If we're going to hold that. We just have one, like, it's not really all ABC at this point. BKKT announcing they're going to become a Bitcoin treasury, and the market punishing them severely for that announcement. God, love it. Down in the reversal, potential reversal zone, but we're going to have to turn it. Otherwise, lower low, baby, coming down here. Car, Carrier Global. Is that actually, yeah, air conditioners. I was like, I don't recognize that logo. So that's the high. Right here's the high. First move down, retrace to a lower high. Have potential to break out, but we did have a gap down and we just filled it. So looking for support here. If we get below that zone right in here, below 70, probably going to see this to A, B, C, to a lower low, back down the low 50s. So 70 is kind of the tell here. We hold it, turn back higher, probably going on out to targets on the upside. That high, that low, target 88.93. Oh, look at that beautiful, that roadmap line and that 618 coming in at the same spot. Downside potential. Yeah, right down there at 50. NUE. Retrace back to the roadmap line. Should be right. Oh, it's just a little off. Right there. So I like it when they do this. Although this came up to an ambiguous number. If we hold the roadmap line on that retrace, going up for that, retrace again, that's really bullish because that would be a 5 up. A wave 2 retrace for the bigger one. And then 3, probably take us up pretty high on that one. SWK, Stanley Black & Decker, bouncing off the roadmap line just like we did before. Can lead to a lower low again. Watch for support. We need to hold support right in here and turn higher. Break through the roadmap line. If not, it's probably going lower low. Lower low. AMT. Yeah, 180, 150. It's all your choice. Like, I just threw up some opportunity. I'll probably actually hone it in when I take it. Throw it out there for everybody as a potential hedge. AMT. Now, when things get sour in the market, sometimes this one rallies. But sometimes not. As we can see, 2022, this got fleeced. I got fleeced in 2022 and it hadn't really recovered. So this is looked at as like a place to park money, even though it's not necessarily a great place to park money because the yield on it is kind of crap. Dividend yield 2.96. I mean, much better place to park money would be like JAAA. Much better place, or even if you want to go in public debt, PAAA. It's public AAA collateralized debt, JAAA. Private collateralized debt, AAA rated. If you want to flight to safety, put it in something like this. You know, you may get a temporary pullback in the market, but check this out. When we adjust for the dividend, little hiccup, but always going up. That's what you want when you're holding safety, right? Always going higher. Now, other places, a little bit lower yield. If you wanted 3-month treasuries, definitely lower. Look at that beautiful curve right there. Low volatility forever. And then another one, Bloomberg's 1 to 3 month. It used to be like dead flat right over there. Rock and rolling. That's a much better place to park money if you're going to do it. Bill, T-bill, PAAA. Does have some risk of a pullback. You might be stuck in it for 6 months. JAAA. Same. If people get a little freaked out, but over the long haul, up and up and up. You can see we get a few hiccups. If we get a hiccup in this, like if the market freaked out, that'd be a place to roll money into. See what happened. 2022. And a beautiful opportunity. What happened between here and here? Interest rates went up. Right? These are collateralized bonds, AAA rated companies. Interest rates were low. Now they're high. If they lower them back down, this will flatten back out, but beautiful. Beautiful potential there. EXEO, coming back to the roadmap line. Watch for the support and the bounce. Here's the high, here's the low, and it may go down to 33. JCI, Johnson Controls, that might be played out for now. Definitely hit some upside target zone. Watch for that to come back to the roadmap line. PayPal. What? They were announcing the crypto deal. Announced some big crypto deal yesterday, and apparently the market not too much of a fan of that. They're gonna let whatever it is, 100. I forget how many PayPal users they have. 300 million PayPal users. Gonna unlock the ability to pay at the however many millions of merchants with crypto. They're saying that reduces the cost of transactions by 90% by allowing that or unlocking that for businesses. Well, guess what? Saying something like that, unlocking 90% of, taking out 90% of the transaction cost, that means we make less money. It seems like a good thing, but from investor standpoint, that's less money. BMNR coming down. MRK. Oh, baby. If you still got some put selling money, this might be an opportunity right here. Tag that 618. First move up, retrace. Pop on through. Next upside resistance. Not saying it's going to. Just looks like a nice opportunity. Probably going to come up to 99 on the next move. Let's see what we get to. Vision Wave Holdings. Not enough candles. Molina Healthcare. Doesn't look like we're finding support yet. Might come on down to 120. PYPG. 2x leverage on PayPal. Not sure. Watch out. Hey, I'm an investor. I'm making money. And it's not necessarily about doing the right thing. It's about making money. For me, PayPal, great. Doing the right thing. But that's not an opportunity to make money with PayPal for me. So UPS probably going lower low. Next low, that high. Next target zone down around 85 here. Invox. Wow. 2x leverage on NVO. These, like, more and more of these tickers keep showing up. These 2x leverage on everything. All right, stuff that was set up. I'm not even going through the bullish list because fatigue. There's a pullback. There's the entry target right up here, and I had the bigger target from back here too. So this is like double setup for a move up into this 324, 330 area. Right there. ATRC. Here's the high, here's the low, there's the entry, 36.18. I guess I should swing back, turn on the statistics here. 39.76.2. So almost a good one that I would like. That's statistically significant. Check plus. This just under 80, just a check. Over 2, check plus. So not a bad one right there. That nice opportunity. ATRC 14.71, 1.3. Website target 36. Fling or flex LNG. I don't know, whatever. That already at the target. Although it's in the trade from back here, but here's the high, here's the low, at the target already. Nice. I think that was on the list yesterday. I don't remember where I came up with that. So this has the potential. I don't remember why I drew all this yesterday. Looking for that upside, 185. And Riley Exploration, Permian Basin. High, low, kicked off the entry back here, did another bounce. Looking for 30 up there. 1181, 5.9. Smoking hot win rate, but risk to reward's kind of weird. It's a little bit choppy with the downtrend of roadmap line. I don't know. I mean, over here, a flat roadmap line, and it worked. So I've not pulled any statistics on the slope of the roadmap line versus whether they work out or not. It seems to have no bearing. Checking in for things that were popping. Pop through here and see if anything sparks my interest. Let's see. Nope. Nope. That's hitting the target. You nailed that one. Great. Get ready to get off of that train. WGS. And rejecting. Be careful. That may come back to the roadmap line before we pop on up to 130. CLS. Target. ONC. Target. GL. Target. SRPT. Nasty. Polaris. Maybe working on a reversal here. Wow. Lower than COVID lows. None of that stuff matters anymore. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. This might be done on the downside. Oh yeah, look at that, beautiful. 4, 5. 1, 2, in the vicinity of the 4. This might be done. That would be a ridiculous potential move right there from 60 to 852. What's going on my list, though? Stuff to watch. That's why I put nice on the potentially bullish list. That's why. That's where it came from yesterday. Rambus. Not going to mess with that. Too much chop. GLW. Already at the target. Leverage stuff. AppLovin. Caution that can drop back out to 160. FWONK. Potentially going to retrace. KNSA. FLS. Coming up to resistance. Got the big picture high, big picture low. Gap down. Contend with right there. Hey, coming up at 5 p.m. this evening, I have 30 minutes of awesome. That's where I do requests. If you got tickers you want me to look at, come hang out with me at 5 p.m. Eastern. I'll be live again. And this probably needs a retrace back down. Probably going to get some softness back in here. We need it to be able to go higher again. SAP. Retracing ETHU. Grinding higher, AMK, MRK. Wow, look at that head and shoulders worked out beautifully right there. That might be the bottom in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would look for this thing to stall here, retrace, and go higher again. That stall point might be up at 31. Then we retrace. Maybe catch the roadmap line somewhere over here and then go higher again. TRS, nope. SMH, looks like we're going to reach for 304. Coherent, looks like we're going to reach up for 130. PHG. Yeah, reverse splits and all sorts of, or whatever those are. Weird splits. This looks like 1, 2, 3, potentially down here. And NC probably set up for that move up here. Bulls 229. Korea, GNRC, Generac. Nice. Coming back up 214 to 232 potential. Sezzle still has upside at 336. Semiconductors 96. LI. Yeah, I'll be on the profit panel at 11. Be hawking Crypto Unleashed. LI. Just chopping sideways. That's the list. All right, bias for the day. Well, extreme caution. We may just drift here, looking for the FOMC meeting tomorrow. It's the biggest catalyst we got this week, FOMC meeting. And, you know, if that's not the catalyst, we've got big tech or the rest of Mag 7 earnings kind of rolling in this week, except for NVIDIA. That won't happen until way out in August. So be careful out there. Apple would be my hedge. Putting it on before FOMC tomorrow would be the kind of the idea. And be careful out there. The account you save may be your own. I'm not saying that the Apple trade works. It's just a hedge. So you put a small amount of money in it to potentially make a bigger amount of money when everything else is going to crap. You don't put a big amount of money in it expecting to make a really big amount of money, because the probability it works out very low. If you already bought a big chunk, maybe consider taking some of that back off. All right. And this is the potential on Apple, but it doesn't have to go down here. It doesn't even it may just dip a little bit and then go higher. Maybe like A, B, C, dip and going up. Possible. Not very likely right now with this chart pattern, but possible. It's definitely hitting its head on that gap down right there. Be careful out there. The account you save may be your own. It's not being wrong. It's staying wrong. That's what costs you the big money in the markets. See you later. 5 p.m.